In this series, I aim to give you a quick introduction to some of the plant families found in the UK. Learning to identify plant families is a great help in identifying individual plant species you come across. Plants are classified into families based on characteristics that they share. So, the way to identify a plant's family is to know these characteristic features. Today we're going to look at a family of spore-producing plants, a family of ferns, the Aspleniaceae, or Spleenwort family. This is a family of herbaceous perennial plants containing 700 or more species. They are found across most of the world and frequently grow as epiphytes on other plants and as lithophytes on rock. Most are in the genus Asplenium. A few species are grown as ornamentals and houseplants, such as Asplenium nidus, bird's nest fern, and Asplenium bulbiferum, mother spleenwort. The species in the UK are all in Asplenium and include Asplenium scalopendrium, hart's tongue fern, Asplenium ceterac, rustyback, Asplenium trichomones, maidenhair spleenwort, Asplenium viride, green spleenwort, Asplenium rutimeraria, wall rue, and Asplenium marinum, sea spleenwort. They're often seen growing on walls and from rocks. As ferns, the Aspleniaceae reproduce using spores rather than seeds, tiny, dust-like packets of genetic material. These are produced in structures called sori. These sori form elongated lines on the underside of the leaves, following the veins. These linear sori are the main distinguishing feature of this family. They begin pale in colour, becoming brown once the spores have been released. A membrane-like cover called an indusium grows along one edge of each sorus and protects the spores until the sorus is mature. The spores are dispersed by the wind. The leaves of Aspleniaceae plants are fronds that may be simple, like an Asplenium scalopendrium, or compound. The compound ones are pinnate, that is, divided into leaflets. How many times they're divided depends on species. The central stalk of the frond is called the rachis. Young fronds begin coiled into spirals called crosiers and unfurl as they expand. The fronds all grow out of the same point on a scaly stem known as a rhizome, forming a clump or rosette. There are a couple of other characteristic features of this family, but neither are great for checking in the field when you're out and about. One is that if the rachis is cross-sectioned, the main veins can be seen to form two back-to-back C shapes towards the base and an X shape near the top. This is not an ideal ID feature, as checking it means damaging the plant and is often too small to see. The second is that the scales on the rhizomes and lower on the fronds have a lattice pattern on them, though they're often tiny and hard to get to, so again, aren't a great ID character. So, if your plant is a fern with fronds that begin coiled in crosiers, and the underside of mature fronds have pale or brown sori in lines, with a membranous indusium cover along one side of each sorus, and especially if the plant is growing in rocks or on a wall, it's probably in the Aspleniaceae. See if you can find these three species when you're out and about. Asplenium scalopendrium, hart's tongue fern, with simple entire fronds and long sori. Asplenium trichomones, maidenhair spleenwort, that has pinnate fronds with black rachises and is commonly seen on walls. And Asplenium rutimeraria, wall rue, a small species with short pinnate fronds that forms clumps on walls.